Happy Monday, Boalia Desmond here. Thank you for tuning in. I titled my message today, Stop Trying and Start Training. So today's message was inspired by an event that I actually watched part of online by the Dave Ramsey group. And this message in particular was shared by Pastor Craig Greshel. So I thought it would be a very good one to share because how often do we try things versus train for things? So basically, the concept that he was talking about is most of us want pretty much the same kind of things, right? We want successful careers. We want good marriages. We want to be out of debt. We want to have good health. Basic things that most people want are the same, right? But yet the results vary. They're so different. And why is that? When somebody can look at somebody's success and say, you know what, they got lucky. But really successful people do consistently want what unsuccessful people do occasionally, right? Successful people are consistent. They figure out something that they want to do and they just do it, right? But they know it takes time, so they continuously do it so that over time they can they reach the results and the goals that they have set. So sometimes why I think all of us go through a time where we might be inconsistent in one area or another, right? Because it's very rare that you can be consistent in every single thing. Sometimes you have an area that you struggle with and you're inconsistent. And so why is that? And one of the things that he said is that we focus on too much on what you need to do. I need to do this and I need to do that and I need to do that. So eventually you just become inconsistent versus focusing on who do I want to become? Like, who do I want to become, when I become debt free? Do you want to become a giver? Do you want to become somebody that wants to be a blessing to people? Do you want to become, just who do you want to become? Focusing on the who, which he said, goes with your identity. If you know who you are, then the things that you need to do become easy, so you become consistent in that because you're chasing who versus what. Who was I created to be? Who did God create me to be? Once you start to figure that out, then it's easier to become that person. It's easier for you to plug in what really needs to be done, instead of just focusing on, oh, I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to do that. Why do you want to do this? Who are you going to become when you do X, Y, and Z? When you become 100% debt free, what does that mean? Who do you want to be? What kind of person do you want to be? So, and then the second thing that he said is because we choose to try things versus train for things. Athletes know that they're an athlete, right? So they train like an athlete. They are not trying something. Have you ever heard a friend say, oh, I'm going to try to make it tomorrow? That is really not a commitment, right? Because it's giving them an opportunity to get up the next day and say, oh, you know what, I didn't feel like it. Don't try. Start training for things. Oh, I'm going to try to lose weight. I'm going to try to get more sleep. I'm going to try to become better at X, Y, and Z. That is not a commitment. That is just saying, hey, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm just going to give myself permission that when things get difficult and things get too hard, I can kind of slowly back out because and not be committed to finishing what you started. So stop trying things and start training. Train to become something. Train to become who you're created to be. Train to become the X, Y, and Z. Stop the trying. The trying does not work. So when you think about your own life, what are the areas that you think you've been consistent in and you see that you've seen success? Or what are the areas that you have been very inconsistent? You occasionally do something, but yet you see other people succeeding, or yet you can't figure out why you really can't achieve the results that you are after. Because you have an inconsistency problem. It's not necessarily that you can't do it. It's just that you haven't quite decided to train yourself and your mind to become that person. I want to lose 10 pounds. Who are you going to become after you lose that 10 pounds? You're going to probably become more confident. You're going to become more, things are going to change. So chase that. If it's a weight loss, is it really just about the weight loss, or do you feel like you want to be more confident? You feel like you want to show up differently. You feel like you want to, you know, be a person who's like a, you know, you're chasing who versus what. And then committing yourself to saying, you know what, I'm not going to try anymore. I'm going to train myself because I see the end result. Okay, I see myself living in freedom, right? Because I have no more debt. I'm not shackled underneath some debt. So I thought that was a very great topic that I wanted to share with you. So stop trying and start training to become the person that you were created to become. You can see the results that you're actually searching for. So I thank you for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow.